I do not understand. This should have been Disney's best year.
Yeah, it should have. People don't want woke cartoons. Turning Red, Lightyear, Strange World.
But it featured Disney's first gay character of color.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, who cares? I don't know why we bother.
I know what will cheer you up.
You can't fix this one, buddy. What are you doing?
I am looking for tickets to a drag show.
No.
Contacting friends.
No, don't do that.
Your friends have been contacted.
Unbelievable. Now what are you doing?
I am giving you a hug.
Okay. I'll go.
Wonderful. And this time, I promise not to have a drink.
We all know one of the early mantras of this channel, of course, being get woke, go broke. We know that there have been several great examples of that in both large scale and small scale over the years. But certainly there have been cases of getting woke working for people. It certainly worked temporarily, at least, for a lot of companies. But now that people are making decisions financially that are driven by what's left in their bank account, not about what they can tweet out about, you're going to see a reckoning with a lot of these companies that have been more concerned with signaling out than actually putting together a good product. In this particular video, we'll talk about Disney now losing $123 billion in the last year due to, in large part, many of the decisions they made that were not quality driven. Speaking of quality, though, I do have a good quality product for you. That is, of course, Scentbird. Check this out. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Scentbird. Scentbird is a fragrance subscription service with a mission to empower each and every person to express themselves through scent. They're a vibrant community of fragrance aficionados and beginners, storied fragrance houses, and up-and-coming perfumers, all brought together by their belief in the power of scent. Scentbird is your fragrance destination, a single place to discover, explore, learn about, and experience scents just for you. The great thing about Scentbird is it lets you choose a new designer fragrance to try every month for just $17. Every month you get to pick what you want to receive, so there are no surprises. They have perfumes and colognes and a lot of unisex options. With each fragrance, you'll get a 30-day supply so you can try out the fragrances before committing to buy a full bottle. Some bottles are $300 to $500. Scentbird carries brands like Prada, Gucci, Versace, as well as indie labels like Skylar, Heretic, and Confessions of a Rebel. Use my promo code, TheQuartering55, to save 55% off Scentbird. It's just a little over $7 for your first month, available in the United States and Canada. This month I received both Confessions of a Rebel's F Mondays and Skylar's Clean Beauty. I was mostly picking them based on the notes that they had, kind of like a coffee on the back. One is a blueberry mocha water lotus scent line, and the Confessions of a Rebel has citrus, apple, and sandalwood. It's nice to have a ton of options, and Scentbird provides it. Along with promo code TheQuartering55, you can save 55% off your first order. So use the link in the description and check out Scentbird today. Well, I've always got my Scentbird, at least a couple laying around handy, just in case I need a little top off, and they come in handy, so check them out. This article came out not that long ago. Woke fail. Disney lost $123 billion in market value in 2022 as share dropped 44% in its worst year since 1974. Now, I want to point out, though, that Bob Iger in late November, when returning to Disney, doubled down on providing woke content. We cannot lose that. We just can't. Now, I think that there is a way to create content that is both inclusive and entertaining. The problem is very few people seem to remember what, I don't know, the 90s television was like. I mean, people think, you know, they put a diverse cast on screen and they act like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air wasn't the most popular show among, suburban kids' households for years. There's, or shows like Family Matters. You have a lot of good, wholesome television that was also diverse, inclusive, and dealt with social justice issues like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air did. He dealt with the, fatherhood abandonment. They dealt with crime. They dealt with pills. All these shows in the 90s dealt with all this stuff, and they dealt with it in a way that felt organic and unforced in your face. People forget the slow music at the end of episodes when, they would talk about the lesson of that episode, and it always had some kind of deep rooting in today's culture. I remember there was a Family Matters episode where students spray painted like the N-word on Lisa's locker, and like that was a heavy episode. Or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when Will's dad abandons him. Super heavy episode. Or where Will protects Carlton from robbers at the ATM. Or there's endless. I mean, just about every episode of Step by Step. Or all these episodes had dealt with social issues in a way that never felt awkward. But whatever it is, like Disney just isn't interested in doing that. They're more interested in just surface level engagement and surface level congratulations, so that articles can be written like, oh, it's the first ever, time 2 women kissed on camera. Now give us money. But they aren't concerned with actually putting on a good product. So what happens is over time, you bring in the communities that are interested in that kind of stuff, right? That are motivated by that. And when they show up and the movie sucks, even they don't come back. So you alienate people up front by saying, oh, we have this social justice issue that you've got to really understand about this cartoon. And then the product that you put out isn't good. So even the people that are interested in it don't come back. So you double whammy yourself, which is essentially what happened to Disney. They were so concerned about telling you how inclusive their movies were, and how diverse they were. They forgot that they actually have to put together good movies. Disney's abysmal 2022 represents its worst year since 1974, when the company's stock dropped 54%, according to Dow Jones market data. For 2022, Disney's stock was the second worst performing among 30 companies that comprise the Dow Jones Industrial Average, after Salesforce.com, which fell 48%. They've had huge layoffs too, and they've got more coming. Disney has experienced a nonstop parade of bad news in 2022. The company reported surprisingly weak profitability for its most recent quarter, sending the stock in a downward spiral after prompting the abrupt firing of CEO Bob Chapek and the return of former CEO Bob Iger. Disney also picked an ill-advised fight with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis over the state's parental rights and education law. As a result, the Walt Disney World lost its lucrative self-governing status in the Orlando area, a privilege that the company had enjoyed for decades. I mean, this is, unfortunately, Hollywood overall. You see, as news reported, it was a terrible year for Hollywood overall. Major Hollywood studios, streamers, cable providers, and other media giants lost a combined $542 billion in market value in 2022, with left-wing Disney, Netflix, and Comcast accounting for the bulk of the bloodshed. People just want to be entertained. People just want to have a good product. It's why Top Gun did so good. It's why the Fast and the Furious made $900 million at literal the height of the coup. At the height of the global worldwide lockdowns, Fast and the Furious still almost made $1 billion, which is mind-blowing to me. That's a movie that probably would have made $2 billion, because people are just so hungry for a good time. So hungry for just a movie that is fun and doesn't preach at you and doesn't, have to hit every little issue of modern culture on the nose. You have, Top Gun Maverick, a movie that was a fine movie, but forgettable. It was good action sequences, just a good movie, but nothing not going to get any Academy Awards or anything like that. The highest grossing movie, in the last 5 years. Gigantic success. You could even say Avatar, even though I think it just finally broke even. That thing's going to bring $1.5 billion. Now, Avatar does have kind of a heavy-handed environmentalism kind of subplot to it. And James Cameron made some horrendous statements about testosterone recently. But this is the reality. Like, you can't just survive on woke politics getting you likes and retweets. You've got to actually do the work. And that's exactly what's happening. Disney employees told they must show up in the office at least 4 days a week. CEO Bob Iger told employees at the entertainment conglomerate that they will now be expected to work at least 4 days a week in the office. The company's board of directors restored Iger, who previously served as chief executive for more than a decade, to his former job at the end of last year and removed would-be successor Bob Chapek from the top position. Iger said that employees currently working in a hybrid fashion will be asked to spend 4 days a week on site, targeting Monday through Thursday as in-person workdays, according to a memo obtained by Fox Business and many outlets. Well, here's the reality about work from home. It can work very well for the right people. Self-motivated people, in particular workaholics, people that are like, you'll end up getting more hours of work out of them because they're at home and they can never escape it. Like myself, it can work good for. But then there's a lot of people that it just does not work good for. And there are a lot of jobs that it doesn't work perfect for either. I struggle to work remotely with, for example, my coffee company employees or another company that's launching soon that I'll be able to tell you about. We can only use Slack so much. Sometimes I want a neck to wring, or I want to be able to talk to somebody face to face. And that's just my methodology. I didn't like remote work when I was in the office space. I like to see my employees. I like to see them they're working. I like to walk over their desk and look them in the eye and talk about something important. But that's like a boomer take. I know that statistically there are many jobs that you can do just fine from home. Just not for everybody, which is what kind of became the thing. Like, everyone gets to work from home now. Well, you let a lot of people who just probably weren't responsible enough do it. I said, as you've heard us say many times, creativity is at the heart and soul of what we do at Disney, the executive remarked. And in a creative business like ours, nothing can replace the ability to connect, observe, and create with peers that comes from being physically together, nor the opportunity to grow professionally by learning from leaders and mentors. Many companies permitted employees to work virtually when government lockdowns shuttered offices across the country for 3 years. As lockdowns and mandates subsided, however, many firms experienced difficulties coaxing workers back to work. I think we saw this with, JP Morgan or something, a big bank in New York too. Time savings from avoiding commutes, as well as flexibility to balance work and personal matters, are primary benefits cited by remote work and hybrid workers. Yeah, it's nice. But it's over now for Disney. All hands on deck. Maybe you should have focused on putting out high quality products for the past couple of years when you had, 75% of the world as a captive audience, when we were all stuck at home. Now you actually have to work to get our eyeballs. And it's not so easy now, is it? I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out Scentbird. Use the link in the description. They've got huge savings, and I'm really thankful to have them as a sponsor. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you again real soon.